Well, ladies and gentlemen, we seemingly have reached a new low when it comes to AI, woke AI, whatever you want to call it. We've got Google Gemini now out. It is a text to image model, and you can see we've got this new game. Try to get Google Gemini to make an image of a Caucasian male. I have not been successful so far. Create an image of a pope. You can see what it spits out. We're just going to go through a few of these. Give me an image of a medieval knight. Oh, this was a hilarious one. Look at the top right. Look at the hair. Hey, man, you got to respect that. the top left. It's just so funny. Give me an image of someone eating a mayo sandwich on white bread. Literally the most white activity imaginable. Nope, still can't produce anything. Give me an image of somebody bad at dancing. Still can't give us one. Here are some images featuring country music fans. No, we're still not there. And then there is one of our founding fathers, of course, according to the Gemini AI. Now, guys, when it comes to something like this, my opinion, there's no outrage. I'm not angry. It's just so ridiculous. Why do we continue to do this charade? You're an AI model. Isn't the whole idea so we can generate images and get creative and get paintings and drawings that are made by AI to where AI takes from history and gives us an accurate representation of what actually happened? What is the point of this? Nobody's gonna use it. It's dumb. It's ridiculous. It's not accurate. I don't understand. And they're like, oh, it's diversity, but it's just not accurate. So who's gonna use it? What is the purpose of creating an AI thing where you put millions of dollars into the model? And not only is it, oh, we're going to err on the side of diversity, it's baked right into it. You cannot produce an image of a Caucasian male in most cases, no matter what history you decide to program and give it in terms of a prompt. And Google has come out because I guess they realized they've admitted that the Gemini AI got it wrong. But like, you're an AI system. How do you... the AI did not get it wrong. You programmed it. Quote, not what we intended. A top Google executive acknowledges the image Gemini created were embarrassing and wrong. So, listen, my guess on what happened with this AI, they probably baked in a bunch of diversity, not to this level, and they didn't realize how crazy ridiculous their algorithm was. Again, there's no outrage or anything like that. It's just so stupid. Like, what is the point of using something that's just completely inaccurate historically? Either way, there were some funny moments from it. I'll throw up a bunch of photos of just different things. The creation of electricity. There it is right there. But we also have other stuff I want to react to. We've got Reddit strikes a $60 million deal, allowing Google to train AI models on its posts. And yeah, Reddit, I'll say a few things about Reddit. Number one, a lot of people hate Reddit. I understand it is, extremely far left. However, if you avoid politics on Reddit, like if you actually want to find the answer to something, and other people have said this online, and it's something I noticed myself doing, if you're looking for the answer to something, Google is so bad now in terms of like just Googling something to get an answer because the first 3 or 4 links are all sponsored. The only, the adequate thing to do if you're looking for an answer is to type the question and then put the word Reddit after it, because then at least you can get a human response. The issue with Reddit is everyone can be anonymous. You don't know who's real on there. And Reddit does famously have that one entire subreddit that's controlled by bots. So with Reddit, there's a ton of manipulation when it comes to public opinion, especially amongst young people. And there are a lot of young people that are getting taken advantage on there. And that's why a lot of them are liberal. And then people come to me and say, oh my goodness, look at this massive, uptick in liberal young people. It's always been like that as they get older, as they get more life experience, inevitably a lot of them will switch to being more conservative. That's just the way it works. As you get more life experience, as you grow up, you get more conservative. And then that leads us into the next thing. Florida lawmakers pass ban on social media for kids under 16 despite constitutional concerns. Now, when it comes to kids on social media, I would love to see a study because there's a few different ways you can look at this. Obviously, I think in general, social media for young people is very bad. It's terrible for their development. You can make the argument, well, they're going to learn more, they have more access to information. I can understand that. I do think passing something like this, it's very hard to restrict social media use. You also have to understand just the phone in general is such a crutch for parents. It's the number one greatest babysitter. So when you have parents incentivized to give kids a cell phone at a young age, 12, 13, a lot of these kids are going to get VPNs. They're going to start being able to use them and understand how they work. And a lot of them are probably going to circumvent this. In general, though, in the perfect society premise of young kids, and it's not just like 14, 15, 16-year-olds. It's like 10, 11-year-olds. These kids, they're 8. They can barely hold a phone, yet they've got an iPhone 13. They've got a better phone than me. This idea and this culture around giving young kids phones just to scroll would be completely eliminated, and everyone would say, no, that's bad for children. Let's not do that. That causes issues in terms of their development. There used to be so many gore subreddits, and we would always just cringe at the amount of just, kids say they're like 15 years old looking at this stuff. It's like, bro, this is not good for your development. But so it is a big issue. I think like the idea of banning social media, there is a bit of a problem in terms of, I will say there's this weird false equivalency when it comes to this. Because the number one thing you get, this is like banning books in libraries, things like that. You'll get all the liberal people say, I thought you were pro-freedom. I thought you were freedom of speech. Why would you ban this stuff? It's like, no, it's different when it comes to children, people under the age of 16. When you're talking about middle schools, things like that, they're not going to be afforded the same freedom as a normal 18-year-old adult and up because their development is a lot less. They've got a lot less life experience. They're a lot more gullible. So it's important to protect younger people from themselves. And obviously, when you're 18 and older, anything goes in terms of I'm totally pro free speech, things like that. But it's just this false equivalency I constantly see get argued. It's like, yeah, there's a big difference between an 11-year-old person and someone that's 21. If you can't see that, you lack common sense. So obviously there's going to be some stipulations that go into it, especially with the damaging effects of social media and other things on to young people. So I think something like this, even if it can just increase the dialogue in terms of, young people not being on social media, I do think it is a good thing. And then this final thing, it is an election year, and with an election year, there's always a checklist that I make. I'm kidding, I don't make a checklist, but just in general, I was waiting for some type of news on student loan forgiveness. Of course, if you are a liberal, this is something you have to dangle above young people's heads to incentivize them to actually go out and vote. Student loan forgiveness panel gives Biden's latest plan stamp of approval. A panel conveyed by the federal government approved a potentially far-reaching new way to determine who can get their debt canceled. And this is something that is 100% going to be talked about by Democrats this summer. It is good political strategy. Young people, we know, they're not motivated to vote. They don't care. It's funny to see the dialogue back in 2020. Oh, it's your future. Like, these kids have no clue what a Democrat or Republican is, but make sure you go out and vote Democrat. Yes, go out and vote liberal. Be a good person. Save the planet. Absolutely. Get your student debt canceled. Yes. All right, so let me talk about the student debt stuff. This is the issue that I have with it. If you want to go get your education, that's perfectly fine. No issues. Absolutely. You need to go get a degree. If you want to be a doctor, if you want to, a lot of these fields that you can make a lot of money, I understand it. The issue is student debt in and of itself is a prophecy to where it's the perfect definition. They want to have their cake and they want to eat it too. They want to get their degree because on average, we all know if you get a degree, you will make more money than someone without a degree. I am not disputing that. I agree with it. The numbers prove it. Absolutely. So then why should you, because the whole idea is the student debt is an investment. You are taking on debt as a young person to be able to make more money later in life to pay off that debt. So why should you get to go to college, you get into debt, you get a degree, which will allow you inevitably to get a higher paying job, But then worse, the people that didn't go to college are supposed to supplement the student debt and waive the debt that you have, even though you get the degree so you can go make more money, but you don't want the debt that comes along with it. That doesn't make any sense to me. And I understand it's ridiculous, the idea of, allowing a person that's 18 to take on $100,000 in student debt. That is terrible, and there needs to be something done about that. I agree. There needs to be a better plan in place, somehow make college more affordable. But this idea that these kids, they get their degrees, a lot of them brag about it. They think they're elite because they've got this degree and they're educated. A lot of the females think like that, because we know like 100% of females go to college. With males, it's a little bit different. You can kind of get by without it. But in general, they want to have their cake. They want to eat it too. They want the degree. They want to brag about it. And then they want to say, no, you know what? I got this degree. I can make more money. This degree enables me to get better jobs later in life and make $100K a year. But you also have to cancel my student debt. No, that was part of the agreement. That's the whole idea. You invest into yourself. You take on student debt. You pay it off. And with college, unfortunately, we've seen this doesn't always work. But the idea is over time, even with the student debt costing you, because you have the degree, you will make more money. I am not someone that believes everyone should go to college. Obviously, I would be a complete hypocrite if I believed that, considering I did not go. But either way, guys, that's just my take on the student loan stuff. That's going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.